Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the ZymCast.
Or welcome to your very first episode of the ZymCast. I don't want to be presumptuous.
But it is nonetheless another episode.
What are we on now, Chase? What number?
Like,
what number, Chase?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Chase, what number?
26?
No.
Incorrect.
You're
What?
close.
20
It's 27.
26. Ah!
Recording the last one on on an off day. I think it
Yeah.
just ruined you.
Oh, yeah, because I don't have notes for last one, so whoops. I have misnumbered.
It's okay. I forgive you one time.
That was like a kind of different podcast anyway.
If it happens again, we'll replace you.
Oh, shit.
Yep. We'll replace you off your own podcast.
Exactly.
that
Your
you
show
started.
that you started. You're still like bankrolling primarily.
I am
You're still going to have to pay for it.
replaceable.
You're still going to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
All right. How you doing, Chase?
I am pretty good. I mean, it's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Los Angeles.
With cars being flipped over and burning.
Apparently, according to you.
That's what I dealt with get here.
A burning car upside down. Presumably everyone's okay.
It looked like everyone made it out alive. Because, again, most of those people just looked relieved to not be in that burning car anymore.
Yeah. Cheyenne looks confused because she
Okay.
wasn't here when you told me
I
this.
was not.
That's what held me up today. That
Oh.
was the car, that was the accident that I said I was
Oh,
stuck
okay.
behind. Yeah. I finally got up to it. And yeah, it was like two cars that hit each other and one just flipped over. And was literally burning.
Jesus. I don't know if
Jeez.
I ever told this story on the podcast. When Cheyenne and I went to, we did. I'm pretty sure.
Disneyland?
Yeah, we went to Disneyland the other week, maybe like 2 months ago, a month ago. I don't
month
even
ago.
know. I don't know how long it was. But on the
Time
way
flies.
back, like off, like the on ramp is pretty close to the exit. We went onto the on ramp and the you can see it's just backed up, and we look to find the source of it, and you see over some cars, like just fire erupting over like in the back, and then eventually after an hour sitting there, 45 minutes, like
Yeah, almost an hour.
yeah, it finally moves, and we get to see like it was like a truck that was just caught on fire, and it
Yeah,
was
it was,
it
like,
was
gone.
going like that fire was going pretty high and pretty
Yeah.
pretty hot.
Yeah. And then the next morning, because my dad watches the news, they were still cleaning up after that.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The freeway didn't reopen until like 11, 12 o'clock. the next day.
Jeez.
I was like, wow.
That's not a fun day.
No.
No.
There have been a lot of accidents on the freeway close to my home that I don't want to give the number to. But
Oh, I mean, freeways go for a long way.
I know, but still, I don't want to help narrow people down and find me. Knock on my door. Hell, even if they knocked on my door, it would be the wrong person answering.
Yeah.
But oh man, like 2 weeks ago, I was driving home from work, and a car had, because like there's a chunk of the freeway that's just like, it doesn't have, like on the right hand side, it doesn't have like a rail because there's just like a hill.
Oh fuck,
Oh,
I hate
it's
that.
one of those.
So you can imagine that I look over and I see there was definitely an accident.
Oof.
One person was stopped, and another car you could see was like had hit a tree,
Oh,
and you could just see the
shit.
tail end of it as it's like dangling down from this. I'm
dang.
like, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
So yeah, people are terrible drivers.
Yeah.
Everyone was in a huge hurry today when I was driving and making horribly dangerous moves. I almost saw like 2 or 3 more accidents. I'm just like, I just want to get here safe.
I always hate like specifically on highways and freeways, or like when there's no like barrier. Specifically I think like in the San Gabriel Mountains, or like some
Mm-hmm.
some of those mountains in the north, when you're driving and you go like on these windy roads going up, and there's no fucking like railing,
Guardrail?
and you're
Yeah.
just gonna fucking fly off and probably die.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
Whee!
Like, Jesus Christ, that gives me anxiety.
It's never bothered me.
Yeah. I've been fine.
My mom loves driving and stuff, but that gives her anxiety too. And I'm just like, do 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 do.
It's not like debilitating, but it's just like if
Well, I imagine you made it.
The only time that has ever bothered me is coming back home from my cousin's house, and I had to go through the grapevine, and it started snowing,
Oh,
and it was like pitch black because there was
Oh,
lights
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
freeway out, and I was like, I can't see.
oh.
All I see
I don't even think there
is
are lights
fluff.
on that freeway.
I don't know because there's I was on a section that's near a town,
Okay.
so like the overhead areas have some, or like where the signs are, there are a few for the exits, but I couldn't see a crap. And all of a sudden, there was this police car behind me with his lights on. And I was like, I didn't do anything, officer. And then so I start to pull over, but then he goes in front of me and then slows the whole freeway down. And I was like, yes, an escort. I can't see.
You got yourself a police escort.
Yeah,
there,
it was
Cheyenne.
great.
That's very great.
Yeah, and then an hour later, they closed the freeway. I had just made it out.
Nice.
But there was no railings in some sections of that area coming out of my cousin's.
Isn't that mostly flatland though?
No, the hilly areas. Well, actually, like where my cousin is.
Right.
There's nothing.
So that reminds me, last
Elizabeth.
October, we're just never going to stop talking about car stories. Last October, two of my friends got married up in Oregon.
Oh, Mazel tov.
Okay. So, cool. Two of my friends got married up in Oregon, and basically we rented like a van and like drove up there with like a whole bunch of people.
Did you go to Crater Lake National Park?
No.
Oh, okay. Because your shirt says Oregon.
Oh,
Crater
I have,
Lake.
I didn't even notice that.
I forgot I was wearing that shirt. No, I have been to Oregon many times in
Does
my
this
life.
tie into your shirt? I've never been to Oregon. Does this tie into your shirt?
You've never been to oregano?
No, I've never smoked oregano.
It's a very beautiful place, and a lot of people there definitely do smoke oregano.
My family lives in Oregon.
And you've never been there, but your family lives there?
Yeah, I have family in Oregon too. I've never been.
You guys are
Your
bad
dad
families.
is from Oregon.
We
He
are-
was born
yeah,
in
my
Oregon.
dad is from Oregon.
I don't have family in Oregon, and I'm there.
Okay, Kyle, you're a better person than us. Move on.
No, I just have family in Seattle, so I drive up there.
Yes, exactly.
So, when we were going through the Grapevine, like in this big old van that nobody was very comfortable driving or whatever, it was pouring rain.
Oh no.
And we definitely hydroplaned going like
Ooh.
70 in this giant van at one point.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, most of the people in the back of the van were asleep.
Jesus.
One of my friends was driving, and I was like co-pilot.
Nice.
and it happens, and she like looks over at me, and I'm like, no. And at one point too, we're driving. One of the other guys who's like right behind us, because there was like 4 tiers of seats.
That's a big van.
Yeah.
There was like 15 of us.
Jesus.
jeez.
It was a
Okay.
big van that no one was super comfortable driving. But I at one point we're over on the other side of the mountain, and she looks over at me. She's like, "Did you notice when we hydroplaned?" And we just hear a voice behind us go, "Wait, what?" Okay, get up. I'm driving. And we're like, "We're out of the rain now."
Jesus. I think I've never, no, I have definitely hydroplaned.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? That's why you don't like driving in the rain, isn't it?
That's one, well, I mean,
That one
kind of.
incident.
that, I don't even know, that wasn't really
The
technically
incident.
hydroplaning.
Oh, okay.
But no, I remember the first experience I had was with hydroplaning, was my mom driving when it was raining, and the car started to hydroplane, and she freaked the fuck out.
That's the wrong way to handle that, but makes total sense.
No, my mom is a really anxious person, especially when it comes to driving.
I've still never met your mother.
Have you not?
No. I've been to your house.
Yeah.
That's not saying much. She's a very busy lady.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, that's weird. But it was like when I was in I was in 8th grade, because we were driving to a high school for like a visit, and yeah, she hydroplaned. She's freaked the fuck out, and that it terrified me. Just the thought of it, because she didn't know what was happening. She was like, "What the hell? I can't control the car." But it did happen when I was in high school too. Oh my god, I think it was probably when I was a sophomore. Did I have a car in sophomore? No, I'm probably a junior then. 2015, 2014 or so. I just dated myself.
You
Wow,
do
you
often.
were that lonely that you had to date yourself?
Yeah. But in my BMW, going down the freeway,
Very
especially
safe
because
BMW.
hey, it was a good car. Kind of, but
Let him accept his, sad life. Continue.
yeah.
but I was in the carpool lane, which is like one of the worst places to be when it's raining.
Mhm.
Like on either end of
Yeah.
in the number 1 lane or on the far left, that's where like all the water fucking
Goes,
piles up.
uh-huh.
So there's a very specific stretch of the 110 going south, where like by the 105 and 110 junction.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and especially in the carpool lane, like it can pile up water right there. And I was going across it, and I started hydroplaning. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ! I survived, as you can imagine.
I was certain you were a ghost
Yeah.
this whole time.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, that was terrifying. I actually happened to think twice, because I don't know what it was about that year. It rained a good amount.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, because that's when I started being afraid to drive in the rain because my car couldn't handle it that well. I think my tires weren't even like that. They had a good amount of tread. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like they were bald. But then I had an instance where I was getting on the freeway. I think this was probably the next year after that, or maybe it was the same year, which would even be worse for me. But I was getting onto the freeway on an on-ramp that was a complete circle. I did a complete loop, like 360 degrees going up.
Is that what a full loop
Yeah,
is?
shut the fuck up. And it was raining,
Mhm.
and I was going around it, and it like my back tires gave out, and in the center of the loop was just dirt. So I was like almost at the very end of the loop going around. My back tires gave out. They swerved to the side, so I was kind of like perpendicular almost to the road,
Mhm.
and then it got traction again and just shot me off the freeway into the dirt. And that was what had solidified the fear of driving in the rain. And I wasn't even going that fast. I was probably like in second or third gear, going like 20, 30 miles an hour, going up this like pretty wide. Like it's not like I was too fast for the on ramp, but I mean the rain, I guess. But no one cared. They just kept driving, and no one stopped or anything.
You
They
just
saw me.
barrel
They
into the
saw me.
dirt.
Yeah, they saw me freaking fly off the freeway, and they're just like going on with their day.
That's people for you.
Yeah.
All right, so I was going to share more stories, and then I'm like, how long have we been talking about this? This is a pop culture podcast. We should stop
Talking about
because we could keep talking about
My near-death
this
experiences.
all day long. So, anything else you want to touch on what you've been up to this week, Chase?
Well, wasn't quite this week. It was more last week, but yeah.
Wow, Chase, you sound so
I
different.
knew you were gonna say that.
I know. I butt in because he had a blank face.
Like,
No,
that's his
towards you.
default.
Oh, okay, but Chase and I
Yes.
watched a movie.
I watched a
What?
few movies.
Okay, but this one movie in particular.
No, I watched a few movies.
What movie?
So we've established Chase has a terrible memory.
Yeah, we talked
with
about
movies.
that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about it frequently.
I know,
I have
but
a
we
bad
most
memory.
recently touched on it 2 weeks ago.
I
Yeah.
honestly I can't remember like a lot of movies that I've seen. Like I know I've seen them.
Yeah.
I know loosely what they're about, but if
Yeah.
you mention any part of a certain
it.
movie, I probably won't remember it.
Hey,
Nothing.
Chase, what did we watch last week? What movie?
Oh, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl.
I was just double checking.
Anyway, Chase and I watched Charlie's Angels, the one that came out in 2000.
Full throttle.
No, the first one, not Full Throttle.
Full throttle.
Is that Full Throttle?
No.
Full Throttle was a
No,
sequel to
right?
Full
Yeah,
throttle is a
okay.
sequel. I'm just fucking with you.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
Neither have I.
So yeah, hold on.
Neither had I.
Hold on. So it's understandable that you would forget things about like a movie like that. It's not one of those that you should remember every detail of.
That's
But
fair.
for some reason, Chase knew every detail of this movie.
What the fuck?
Why of all movies did he remember this one movie? I'm over here like, which one is this one? Like, did this happen in this movie or Full Throttle? Or am I just making this up? And he's like, no, there's this guy and this guy. Like, he knew the characters' names. He knew what was happening. Like, there was this one of the bad guys, the Thin Man. Like, I had no idea what his name was. And Chase is like, oh, that's the Thin Man. I'm like, how?
Is that Crispin Glover's character?
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, I'm like, how do you know this character? Like, what is this?
Because he sniffs hair and,
Is-
and he yells.
Chase, are you like a secret huge fanboy of Charlie's Angels?
Yes, apparently.
Right?
Is this what a huge chunk of your like memory and brain power has been dedicated to
Yes.
without you
think
wanting it to
so.
be? Oh, Chase.
He knew way too much about that movie.
This is, I mean,
It's such a good
I thought
movie.
I thought I was gonna be able to relate to this story a little bit. It's like, but he didn't remember anything. But nope. This was a swerve.
Yeah.
So, fun fact about that movie, though. Crispin Glover's character, the Thin Man, actually had quite a lot of lines,
Oh.
but
Really?
or in the script. But apparently, like he didn't want to learn them, or he was having like difficulties remembering his lines or whatever, and so they just like cut all of them.
They just had him scream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't remember where I heard that, but I heard that somewhere, and I'm pretty confident that it's probably true.
Oh, that movie's so good.
It is an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
I remember liking it, but
Yeah.
like, so you're real excited for the new Charlie's Angels?
That's actually I think what brought. No, I haven't seen. Okay, so I haven't seen 2000's Charlie's Angels or 2003's Full Throttle. I've seen Full Throttle probably more recently, probably about 5 years ago.
Okay.
But
Let's
I don't-
detail the plot to us, please, for Charlie's Angels Full
I don't
Throttle.
remember Full
Beat for
Throttle.
beat.
I just know it's Demi Moore.
Fair
And there's
Who's the new Bosley?
Your face.
I can't remember that movie. I just remember. Is it
I don't
I'm gonna say
remember.
Jean-Luc Picard.
What the fuck?
No, because I actually
No.
don't remember who Bosley is. And is it not still Bill Murray? I don't remember if there being a change.
No, it's not Bill Murray.
But no, because when
Here's the hint.
Cheyenne was looking
For
up,
some odd reason, one of the only scenes I remember for Full Throttle is the Black Irish scene.
oh wait, is it? I feel like it's what's his name? Is he
Mhm.
dead?
Yes.
Jeez. Okay.
I think you know it. You
what's his fucking name?
These are-
Mac
these are
something.
words. These are
you're so close.
I know, but I just can't remember. That's all I remember from his name. Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac. Yes.
That was the weirdest thing to watch.
Good.
I was thinking fucking Mac Daddy. Who the fuck
Mac
is Mac
Daddy?
Daddy? Bernie Mac.
Mac Daddy. I love it.
No, because Cheyenne was looking up. Because I forgot it was Crispin Glover who played the Thin Man. So Cheyenne was looking up like the cast, and she saw Bosley as Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she saw Bernie Mac on that list because I don't remember seeing it. But she saw say fucking Sir Ian McKellen. The other dude, what the fuck's his name? Sir Patrick Stewart. She saw Patrick Stewart played Bosley. I'm like, wait, when did he play Bosley?
The new one.
Yeah.
What?
I told you that.
One of the many
Because-
Bosleys.
Yeah, because remember we were going over, there's like 3.
Yeah, there are multiple Bosleys in the new
And
movie.
we were so confused.
Oh, I thought you meant like overall, like throughout.
No, in
Oh,
that
no.
movie.
Oh, that makes a little more sense.
Oh.
Good talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie's Angels, good movie.
That has not left you at all
like
since
10
it
years.
happened.
I don't think I've seen it in like almost close to 10 years.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused as to how he remembered that movie so well.
But yeah, Drew Barrymore is fucking badass, as well as Lucy Liu, and Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
None of which he mentioned in his feminist episode.
That was a point that I realized when we were watching the movie. I'm like,
Mhm.
wait, I like this movie so much, and I remember it so much. How did I not remember it when we were talking about like strong female
God,
protagonists?
you fail like
Yeah.
like 17 episodes ago. Wow, you really missed that.
Yep.
You just barely didn't remember in time, Chase.
Yeah, just a few months.
It was a long time
It was a
ago.
while ago, man. This
That
is
was like at the start.
yeah, it was definitely within our first 10
Probably- no,
podcasts.
probably episode 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Definitely still talking about Alicia Vikander's Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm interested to see how the new one does. I mean,
Yeah.
Cheyenne and I had this conversation
I
where
want to
like,
watch it.
well, yeah, how is it gonna work? Not work,
Low
but how's it gonna
expectations.
go?
That's the right way to do it.
And yeah, just because like those 3 in 2000s Charlie's Angels were like pretty cool, badass,
Mm-hmm.
even at the time.
Mhm.
I
Maybe.
mean,
I don't know what they were like back then.
that's true.
I was 5, so don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, Chase, how old were you?
it's okay.
That's okay.
I was 2.
Okay,
oh,
well,
God,
then
I'm so
I-
depressed.
I guess for most of the year I was 4.
I was
But-
9.
It's okay, Kyle. It's okay.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
definitely saw that movie in theaters.
Hey, then maybe you could tell us, were they as cool as they were pre Charlie's Angels?
I guess.
Yeah, because I'm in the new cast. I'm like,
Yeah, I feel you. I will say though, it is constantly a shocking moment for me every time that trailer starts. At least the original trailer, where it's just like out of nowhere, just right from the get go. It's like, oh, Kristen Stewart's smiling. I know it's
She
an old
smiles
joke.
in movies.
Not often.
I know. Okay, I've seen a
I'm
lot
not-
of movies.
I'm not
I've
saying
seen a lot of.
it
Kristen
never
Stewart.
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah,
but
it's
it doesn't happen. It didn't.
true.
Okay,
It's
it didn't
weird when it
use-
happens.
It didn't
though.
used to happen very often.
That's true. That's
I
true.
remember watching Snow White and the Huntsman with a bunch of my friends in theaters.
Okay.
And there's the moment at the end of the movie when she is victorious and she smiles.
Yeah.
And all of
Yeah.
us cheered
In
the theater.
because she
We're like,
smiled.
"Oh,
right?
her character development is complete. She smiles now.
My
She's
friends
in
did that
Zathura?
too. Because that was still during like the Twilight fame,
Yes.
and like Twilight, does she smile much? Not really.
Almost never.
But my friends were watching, and she's like, my best friend was like, she's a full human now. She can smile.
She's
a full
attained her.
human.
She's attained her final form.
Yeah. Yes, she is. She plays the older sister who gets frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a
And
picture.
ends up accidentally having a crush
Hitting on her
on
younger
for
brother.
her younger brother from the future.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Zathura.
that was
I love that
14
movie.
years ago. Holy shit.
Yes.
I really like that one.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, don't date yourself like that. You're going to start feeling old and sad.
Yeah.
And then, as old as sad as you feel, I'm sitting right next to you. So stop it.
yeah. I mean, she hasn't really Kristen Stewart.
Okay,
What's
actually.
the last thing she's been in? That's
Oh,
been
she's
big.
in stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But that's been big. The last thing.
I don't think she.
She doesn't try and do
Yeah,
huge
she-
things right now.
she likes
She's been doing
small
like
things.
she's been doing smaller things to
Yeah.
kind of like stretch her acting ability and stuff. I've heard she's done really well in the last couple movies she's been in, but they were small and I didn't watch them.
Yeah.
I will say though, just a fun observation.
Yes.
You claim that Zathura came out 14 years ago.
Mm.
That means that was exactly half my life ago.
That's what I was thinking too.
Fuck you.
Dang.
It was more than half your life ago.
It is, yeah. Well, obviously, if you're older than me, by any means.
Shut up. Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, her new movie Underwater looks interesting.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
I mean, I'm into that sci-fi horror type stuff. I mean, the fact that it takes place underwater. I mean, I'll
Wait.
try to get over that.
wait, it takes place underwater?
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know if I can watch it.
I don't know if I can watch it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate concern for you.
I mean, I'll probably still watch it and then probably freak out.
Poor Chase.
Yeah.
I should make you watch The Abyss.
That doesn't sound cool.
That's a great movie. But there are definitely scenes in that movie where you'll just be like, nuh-uh.
Well, so what's up with you, Kyle?
Not much. Work has been fun.
Yeah.
How's that Joker life treating you?
It's not just Joker. Honestly,
Okay.
I've closed the last 2 nights, and these have not been fun nights.
Mm-mm.
We are not properly staffed,
Mm-hmm.
and we are very busy getting hit by like all the demographics.
Interesting.
Like all of the new movies, well, most of the new movies are doing really well. Jexy, like, eh. Do you even know what Jexy is?
Oh, Jexy, yeah. I thought you said Jack C.
No.
Jexy.
Jexy is
Oh,
like,
no,
eh.
that's not
But
doing
like
well.
Adam's
I want to see
Family's
it, but
Adam's Family's doing really well
yeah,
for us.
it's a bit.
Gemini Man's doing pretty well for us. Joker's still kicking our butts.
Yeah.
And so we're just hitting a bunch of different demographics of people. And I'm like, I want all of you to go home, please. Just stop it. And then our scheduling has been a little rough. It's like, I don't know how well you remember like the numbers at our theater and like what that'll mean for us, but like we're having like 750 person hours at 7:00, which for us, we are not
Oh, yeah.
properly equipped to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
For you, you're like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah, we did 850 plus, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
1 hour, which is
Like
no, we-
anything,
yeah.
yeah, anything above 400 for us is pretty busy.
Uh-huh.
And we were like, we hit over 600. I'm just like, oh god, no. Why are all 4 of our biggest houses like 10 minutes apart from each other?
Ooh.
Yeah. That was not fun. I was there till 3 a.m. last night.
Ooh.
and I was sent home early. My manager's like, just go. Like, I still need to count the safe.
Ooh, I hate sending my supervisors home early because I
I
don't
bet-
like being alone.
Oh, poor Chasse. But other than work, I have been playing video games.
Yeah, which one are you playing? You told me. What was it?
I haven't told you all of them. I have like
Oh.
3 different games to talk about.
Oh,
So the first game I'm talking about that I started and finished, Code Vein.
right. I heard about that.
Anime Dark Souls.
Yeah, I saw that at E3 2 years ago. Like I said, saw it. I didn't play it, but
So my opinions about Code Vein, now that I've beaten it in its entirety and I have I'm replaying like New Game Plus again. It's a good game. It's a pretty fun game. I think it's too easy,
oh, okay.
which is like a hilarious problem, but like considering you're trying to be like a Dark Souls-esque
Yeah,
game.
considering you said it was like Anime Dark Souls, that's surprising. that
Yeah,
it's easy.
more than half the bosses I beat on my first try.
Oh,
And then there are a couple bosses that are like fucking impossible. But
well, there you go.
I think the thing that makes the game too easy is it's actually a problem because it's either too easy or too hard. Because you are given you're expected to use a bunch of AI party members. Well, not a bunch, but you can take an AI party member with you.
Yeah.
And they make the game super easy. But if you don't have it, the game is balanced to have 2 people splitting up aggro, so you can fight like really big groups of enemies, and you just get totally overwhelmed. And so I'm like, I kind of don't want to have a party member just to make it more challenging on myself,
But it's too challenging.
but it's way too hard without one. And I'm like, I would rather have fun with this game. So I think it's arguably too easy, and I think the story, it's pretty story focused for one of these sorts of games. There's a lot of cutscenes and a lot of plot. It's okay. It's not great. And there's a stupid annoying mechanic that is tied directly to being able to unlock new abilities. Basically, you dive into the memories of these people and you learn abilities that they learn, or unlock the ability to learn abilities that they knew.
Okay.
But every time you do that, you go to this place and you do this slow walking thing through this thing and getting their memories, and you can skip it. I didn't want to skip it in the beginning of the game because it was story and plot. But eventually I'm just fuck you, game. I value my time too much to do 25 of these things, each of which take 2 or 3 minutes just to try and unlock more abilities to learn.
Yeah.
There are little problems. And then there's a loading screen going into one of them and a loading screen going out, and they're 30 seconds long on my original PlayStation. I'm just
You have an original PlayStation?
4. Not I don't have a PS4 Pro or whatever. It's
Yeah.
more what I mean. But it's a good game, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun with it. But it has some problems. And I wish it loaded faster. The second game I'm going to talk about here that I also beat, despite getting it 2 days ago.
Jesus.
It sounded like an interesting idea. It was only $5, and I didn't realize it'd be the easiest platinum of my entire life. It's a game called One Night Stand.
Okay.
It is a short little story about you're just a dude and you wake up with a huge hangover and no recollection of what happened the night before, and realize you're not in your apartment and there's some girl laying next to you, and you're like, what the fuck happened? And the whole game is literally about you just navigating this social situation to what are you gonna do in the next 15 minutes?
Huh.
And it's really interesting because there's 12 different endings and a bunch of different little things that can happen in between. But do you just try and make a break for it? Do you
Yes.
try and talk to her, try and piece together what happened the night before? What the fuck is your name?
No.
It's actually a pretty fun little game. It's only $5. And I did really enjoy it, but yeah, that was an easy ass platinum.
Okay. That makes sense. When you said you bought a game and finished it. in 2
Yeah.
days.
I mean, I've done that, but yeah, no. Each playthrough of the game takes I think the first playthrough took me 10 minutes, and then you can start fast forwarding through all dialogue you've already seen.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay.
No, it's really short. But I played it I think I ended up getting there was only 12 endings, but I didn't know how to get them all. There were little clues.
Yeah.
So I think I played through it 20, 21 times. Got all the trophies. There's some
Jesus.
really ridiculous things you have to do in that to get trophies, but like, and some of those trophies are pretty funny because like you can like look in her wallet to try and like find an ID card to like figure out her name.
Yeah.
And you're just like, horrible violations of privacy going on here. But it, like, so when you go into, I'm reading the trophy descriptions trying to figure out what to do. And it's like, you disregarded all logical data. I'm like, what the fuck do I have to do to get that? And so like, when you look in the wallet, there are 2 different ID cards. One, and like both of which look a little off, but they have 2 different names attached to them. Like
What
one's
the
like
fuck?
Luis and one's like Robin. And you're like,
Louise? Oh, Louise. Okay.
Louise. And you're like, which of these names is real? And you have to make a choice. Oh, you get kicked out immediately if you make the wrong choice, and like you'll say it later, like, "Hey, Louise," and she's like, "What? Like that's your name, right?" She's like, "No. Were you looking through my wallet? Get the fuck out of my house!" What's really fun is one of the trophies that get kicked out of the house while wearing no clothes.
Ooh.
But then also you can open up her laptop and it's opened up to her Facebook page, which is like Robin. And so any logical person go, "Oh, I guess her name's Robin then." But to get this trophy, you have to be like, "Nah, still think it's Louise."
I see.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like a fun little interesting game.
$5.
It's definitely worth the $5 I paid for it. Like it was an interesting little experience. The art style was kind of like interesting, and I don't know, it was fun. So there's nothing like not safe for work in it too. So like don't worry about that if you're concerned. So yeah, I recommend that game because it's cheap. And then right now I got it yesterday. I played it for a couple of hours. I am playing through Indivisible.
Oh, I've heard good things about that game.
It is quite fun.
Just today when I first heard about it.
It came out last week. And yeah, no, there's a lot of buzz about this game. It is quite good. It's got a really cool art style. It's like a weird mix of like a platforming Metroidvania-esque exploration system on a 2D like side-scrolling scale, combined with a turn-based, well, I mean not like turn-based, I mean it's like kind of like a real-timey turn-based RPG system where you like control 4 characters, each of them mapped to your 4 buttons.
Okay.
So like triangle, square, circle, X,
Yeah.
cross, fork, whatever you
Cross
want to call
fork.
it.
Yeah, it's triangle, square, circle, fork.
Yep, everyone knows that. And like pressing a button like will send the character to attack. If you hold like up or down, they'll do different attacks. And it's all about like chaining together all the characters. There's like right now I have like 10 characters. I know there's like a lot more. And it's all about like building like specific parties, chaining them together, using their moves at certain times, unlocking special abilities, doing active guards and stuff to try and like protect them by pressing the button corresponding to the character getting attacked. It's really fun. It's really interesting. The story is like just getting going, and it's kind of like, I mean, this is a little cliche, but I feel like we're going to kind of hopefully pivot away from it pretty soon. I get the feeling that it will. But like you play as this girl, Ajna, who is just...
That's a name.
Yeah. Who's just like this total like hot-headed like teenage girl who's just like, I think all of her solutions to problems are how hard can I hit it? So one of those.
Cool.
And so she's like, you got her, and she's got her mom's axe, and her whole family, and like her whole village is burnt down and destroyed. I don't feel like this is a spoiler. This literally happens like 8 minutes into the game.
Uh-huh.
Her whole village is burnt down. Her father is killed by the soldiers that are being sent by like this empire. Oh wow, what a shock! But one of the new lieutenants of the empire is the one like leading the attack, and you get into a fight with him. And midway through your fight with him, he gets absorbed into your head.
The fuck?
What?
And she's like,
Plot
what the hell's
twist.
going on? He's like, let me out, you witch. And she's like, I would if I could. You're really annoying. And you killed my dad. And so you find out that like she has this ability to just like
Suck people
into her head.
Oh.
And so like they live in like this like whole like pocket dimension inside of her that she can like meditate to get into. There's a picture of it right there.
Oh, is that what's with the companion cube?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
But because of that, like you'll meet a lot of people on the journey that just like are like, okay, I guess we're tagging along here. And yeah, they can like pop out for like story. to like have conversations, or they pop out during battle. You build a party of like 3 of them and Ajna. And it's really like a fun and interesting thing. The characters are incredibly likable. A lot of the interplay between them is pretty great. Everybody hates that dude. I think he's like the main male character. So far his arc, I see where it's going, but like, you know, it's interesting. But like, it's just a fun game that I'm having a lot of fun playing, and I really like the combination of like the interesting battle system that kind of reminds me of like Valkyrie profile. I'm combining
Valkyria
game titles.
Chronicles.
Yeah, I'm combining game titles in the
Yeah.
wrong ways. It's like Valkyrie profile sort of thing with like the side scrolling and stuff. But then like you do have like platforming and like wall jumping, exploration. You get new abilities to unlock new like ways to get around. It's pretty fun. Like key to a lot of the platforming abilities is when you get the axe, you have the ability to like swing it. And you can do that to like start battles, but also if you hold it down and you like hit a wall, the axe will like lodge in the wall and you can use that to like jump one more time up. And like, yeah, and there are like a lot of really cool, interesting abilities. You get a bow that you can use to like shoot things in the environment. And so it's starting to get like a little clever where I'm having to like shoot things in midair while I'm like jumping to like create platforms. And
Interesting.
no, it's fun. And again, like the art style is really cool. Yeah, you guys should like look it up because like it's got a really cool little.
It looks really interesting art style.
It's a really pretty art style, honestly. And a lot of the like quote unquote cutscenes are like really cool looking because it's like very beautiful, like hand drawn looking art.
Ooh, like Cuphead.
Sure. Don't bring that game up.
Wait. What about Cuphead? You guys are playing Cuphead again?
Nope.
No.
You should play Cuphead again?
Nope.
Wrong.
It's in my car, but no.
Have you tried playing it at all in your car?
No.
Can't bring himself to do it.
No,
I don't blame you.
Hate
Oh,
myself.
I saw a comment about Cuphead where someone was actually disappointed you guys stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that your friend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm sure this is Kyle's friend, right? He just wants to hear Kyle suffer.
Yeah.
It's actually about Chase, though.
Yeah. It was really about wanting to keep hearing Chase suffer.
I was like, me
Even
too,
though I'm the
bro.
one who decided to quit.
It wasn't my decision. I mean,
I did it
didn't-
for you.
I didn't mind not stop. I didn't
Didn't
mind
fight
stopping.
it at all.
No. I'm like, okay.
It's like,
Fuck
I'm
that
done. I'm
game.
done. You're like, cool. Yeah. I'm not having fun anymore.
Sucks.
Officially stuck on the same level for 2 episodes. Done.
We have a game. We have a friend who fucking
Yeah.
finished that game
Oh, yeah.
in its entirety. Ugh.
And got like, yeah, like the perfect ratings on all levels, like never getting hit, all that
I
stuff.
don't understand.
It's just too much dedication to that game, which is a very good game, and I hate it.
You hate it because it's so good, but you can't get through it.
Correct.
You hate it because you ain't it.
I'm not gonna lie though, Chase. If you weren't there, I might have been able to beat it.
Not gonna lie, you're probably right.
But I'm never playing that game again, so it doesn't matter. Because not only would I have to replay all the shit I already did,
Oh, that's true.
then I'd have to deal with even harder stuff.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. No, thank you. All right, so let's get into some topics today.
Yeah, like 40 minutes into the episode.
This
Hey.
is happening more and more and more. Hey, I was talking about video games. We were talking about movies.
That's a topic. Those were topics.
So it's like, you know, it's at least semi-relevant.
Yeah.
But you know what's more relevant?
Halloween?
By the way, folks, I don't know if you knew, Cheyenne really loves the holiday of Halloween. It's her
Yes,
favorite holiday,
it
and she won't stop.
Nope. Can't stop, won't,
Won't
stop.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
You
Chase.
took me by surprise.
I saw that.
It threw him off.
Because that's not where I was
He's
going.
lost his rhythm.
I forgot what I was even
What's
saying.
relevant?
PlayStation
Chase?
4.
What?
Nope.
5.
5.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. Good course correct there. PlayStation 5, super relevant. Comes out in more than a year.
Yep. Super topical. Well, it is topical. It's not relevant. I mean, just not recent. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
It's not coming out yet.
Xbox
It's a ways
Project
off.
Scarlet.
Scarlet,
Scarlet.
are you having a stroke?
Product Scarlet.
What's that one video of that reporter who has that stroke on there? So she's like, So we prefer I like
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what she's saying, but I'm just like I feel so bad for her, but also it's funny.
Yeah.
It was hilarious before I knew it was because of a stroke. Moving on.
Yep. But I mean, we got some information on the new PlayStation.
We
Next
did.
generation.
We actually got a decent amount of information, but at the same time, it's also all the not sexy information.
It's
that
like all this stuff that you almost would have already known, like if you knew which way it was going.
I mean, some things, but I feel like what this really is all like the not super fun, like cool, crazy information,
yeah.
so that like they can save all those announcements for like on a stage.
But hey, USB-C charging is super cool and sexy.
It charges real fast.
I just like it because now I can use my phone charger to charge my controllers again. Because when I had before USB-C, I mean you can't relate, but before USB-C, no iPhone users can relate.
Correct.
I could use my
It charges as my phone.
my micro USB phone charger is the same as the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 and Xbox One controllers.
That's cool.
So you can just interchange cables. But then once I upgraded my phone to now Samsungs have USB-C. Actually, most new Androids have USB-C, which is superior.
Superior.
We can't use that cable anymore. And I actually just ran into that issue the other day when we were trying to charge some controllers. I'm like, oh, my phone. Oh, just kidding. So, I mean, USB-C cable for the DualShock 5s. I think actually the Xbox Pro or Elite V2, those controllers coming out next month also will have USB-C, and that's current gen. So that's cool. But
Yes.
it's faster charge, more reliable. I mean, I like USB-C. I mean,
I've noticed you.
Yeah.
I'm impressed how many times you've been able to say USB-C in this one little talk about it.
I'm a firm
I think
believer
we're at 9.
in
Yeah.
USB-C.
I might need to.
10.
I need to put in a counter or something.
Ding,
Uh,
ding, 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 ding,
Um,
ding, ding.
Fine,
What was I gonna
USB-C,
say?
USB-C,
I think, like,
USB-C, USB-C.
I think Apple users' first foray into USB-C was notorious with the pretty sure it was like the MacBook Air, or I'm actually not even. I don't think it's a MacBook Pro.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to get into a history lesson of the
Yeah.
USB-C.
No,
but
because I
you know,
remember
hey.
people
he
like
knows
I'm sure like
stuff.
people in the Apple ecosystem don't like USB-C just because they like Apple got rid of everything in place of one USB-C output, so they had like the notorious dongle that then charged the
What?
lap. Yeah, you didn't know about this?
No,
This is
I
like a
just-
huge
just
thing.
love-
I don't have anything Apple.
I just
So,
love the statement,
eh.
the notorious dongle.
Dongle, yeah.
That sounds like something I don't want to know about.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
because they like
Yeah, you have to have like a multi-port or whatever, right?
yeah, because it's a USB-C multi-port dongle because
No, I mean that's what they're called, but
Yeah.
it's still
It's funny
because
sounding.
there were no ports, so there was like no other USB, no, not even a charging port on the MacBook.
Why?
You had to. It was only a USB-C, so you
Ew.
had to get like a multi-port dongle so that you can plug different things in, and then that was notorious for the notorious foray of like having wires everywhere.
all right.
Well, this is why. Stick to Android and PC.
Your computer also has USB-C, which is interesting because mine doesn't, but yours does. But
Mine's newer than yours.
I know, but I mean, mine's not even that old, so
But
that confuses
it's
me.
fine.
Like 2 years.
So I've decided now,
Yes.
not listening really to anything you're saying, just thinking in my own head. That because literally I have no
USB-C
idea
is
what you
great.
just said to me. Yeah, I'm gonna become a rapper now, and my name is gonna be Notorious Dongle.
Okay, real quick. First rap song, go.
No.
No.
You can't just put a man on the spot like that. I'm starting to start my rap career. I don't want to end it this quickly.
Okay, we're skipping that.
No, we're not. We're keeping it.
I mean,
I'm a
we're skipping it. I
failure.
didn't say we're cutting it.
Oh, it's fair.
Yeah. But look for his new rap song coming out soon. And
It-
by soon, we mean
Never next
video game console soon.
Oh yeah,
Oh, within a year, You'll
or
get my-
more.
you'll get my first album.
Yeah,
We'll sell that on our online store, make lots of money.
I thought you meant like Elon Musk time.
Oh, yeah, no. That's
Which is always like,
unrealistic. Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. I said tomorrow, right? That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is another day.
Yep.
Next up on our list after USB-C And the notorious dongle.
Well, something that I definitely
Skips over the RAM.
expected. Well, because I don't see any information about the RAM.
It's not
just says
exciting.
RAM.
It's like, it has RAM.
More RAM. I don't know
Yay.
how much RAM because it doesn't tell me right now.
RAM. It exists.
Random
Woohoo.
access memory. But something that I definitely did expect was to have a solid state drive in this console. It's in both consoles.
Yes, it is.
And right now we're going through PS5 list.
Yep.
But yeah, so solid state drive, SSDs are way faster than hard drives, and they're way more reliable. They don't have any moving parts comparative to a hard drive. Hard disk drive. And because a hard disk drive is literally a hard disk with a little arm that writes data. Yeah. And so I know there's been issues in the past, there always has been issues of if you move that while it's writing something to the disk, it can corrupt the disk.
Yep.
Or the drive.
Yeah.
And that's no good.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, no bueno. And that could corrupt your data. While SSDs are not new technology, I've had a solid state in my desktop for at least 5 years.
I have one in mine.
Yeah. But they're new to consoles. Or not even necessarily new to consoles, but new to being included in launch consoles. Because like you can technically like swap out your hard drive for an SSD.
Yeah, but these bad boys are being built with SSDs in there and in mind.
Yeah. Which are like way faster, like 5 times or more of a regular hard disk speed. So that's faster loading time paired with RAM, faster loading times, faster everything basically.
Yeah. Rumor is though too, this is not like a low end SSD like in the PS5. Like it is supposed to be like a moderately higher end one that is going to, like, again, they did show off in like that really weird press conferencey thingy where they were just like randomly showing off like a fact. Running on the PS5 hardware, they booted up Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah. I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and like normally the game takes like 18 to 20 seconds to load, and it literally took less than a second.
That's crazy. And that is the future.
And they were talking about because it can, like load data faster and read stuff faster. They unlocked Spider-Man's speed when he was like swinging around because the game could only like generate the environment so fast.
That's right.
And so they unlocked his speed, so he was able to actually go faster because they could actually
because they can load in the world in larger clusters and
chunks. So like that's one of the things they're trying to focus on is like improving performance.
Yeah, because like render distance and all that has always been an issue in development of games and how fast it's going to load and how fast you can feasibly, because most games render like it renders what's in front of you.
Yes.
So directly at the time, like right before, like right as you're looking at it. So if you're able to load in more of the world, even like either further out in the view or like more of what's around, that'll be much faster gameplay.
Yep. So they've talked about that being a priority and a focus.
Yeah. Super cool.
It is super cool. Honestly, that's like one of the most exciting things about these consoles because like, God, load times suck.
Yeah. A really cool thing that I'm excited for is that haptic feedback, baby, only on the DualShock 5s. And not only haptic feedback, but that you can differentiate the actuation distance for the triggers. It's something I really like about.
The differentiating the whole adaptable triggers thing is going to be pretty cool. I feel like the haptic feedback is going to be one of those things where like not everybody's going to use it properly.
Like the developers?
Yeah. Not the gamers. I feel like some developers are going to be like pressured to like make sure it works properly. And then like a couple years down the line, they'll just be like, most games don't use this.
Yeah. Well, because it's replacing HD Rumble, right? And something about I think that's been since like PS3. Has Rumble?
Rumble was in
PS2? No?
Rumble.
Well, in this line, it was in like there was like the adapters for like N64 controllers or whatever, right?
I believe the DualShock 1 had Rumble
Really?
in it. Yeah. I believe so. There was like the Rumble pack.
I honestly don't remember there being Rumble in PS2.
There was definitely rumble in PS2. I'm
You
almost
have bad
positive.
memory too,
I'm
honey.
almost positive.
Yeah.
There may not be in PS1. I may be misremembering that, but
Yeah.
I,
I mean,
I
'cause
believe
there was,
that's
like-
why it was called the DualShock.
Oh yeah.
Was
Okay, that
because
makes
it
sense.
had.
That would make
Well,
sense.
because there's Rumble and there's HD Rumble, right?
Yeah, I mean HD rumble was definitely not a thing back then, but
Yeah.
like I mean it was just a thing that just like made your controller shake.
Yeah, there would be like external packs you can
Mhm.
buy for different systems.
Yes.
Well, Nintendo had that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean the N64 had the rumble pack. It also
Yeah.
had the expansion pack
Yeah.
that you put into your console.
Yeah. But I mean that has been a way to kind of, I would say, kind of immerse in the game in like terms of things or triggering the rumble. It gave it extra depth.
Yeah. Kind of. I will say too, infamously in the PlayStation line of things, the PS3 did not, like the 6-axis controllers did not have rumble in them. They couldn't make room for it because they had to have the 6-axis motion control,
Right.
which was atrocious. And so then they eventually released actual DualShocks. Like the DualShock 3 eventually came out that had
That's right.
yeah. So and I think that was the first console that was the first controller that had HD rumble for the PlayStation line. I think. Either way, though, I've never cared that much about rumble. I find it at best I don't notice it, like ever. I noticed it on the freaking okay on the PlayStation. I freaking noticed it on the Xbox because it's distractingly rumbly.
Yeah.
God,
You pointed it out when we've been playing games. He was like, "Look, feel his controller.
yeah, like freaking
out.
Blair Witch was
Yeah.
annoying me because like every time the radio would like it would like
rumble?
I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, it's not something that's really added that much personally to like my experience. I mean, it's been there and it's like okay, but when it gets to like overdrive,
Yeah.
that gets a little annoying. But the thing about the DualShock 5s having haptic feedback is more. It's not necessarily a generic shaking.
No, it is very specific and designed. Like, somebody had gotten their hands on playing, I think, one of the Gran Turismo games, and the haptic feedback was set up for that. And
Yeah.
they're like, you can noticeably tell the difference between like driving on asphalt, driving on dirt, driving on this, like just the way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because per IGN, they're saying that sounds like the new haptic motors could emulate more rhythmic, subtle sensations like walking through blades of grass or puddles of mud, which is really interesting, and I can't comprehend. So we'll see when that comes out. But I can't even imagine like how that would feel haptically. But
one day we'll know.
yeah, but what excites me also is the adaptive triggers, like you can program the level of resistance on the L2 and R2, so when it will actually actuate, and like how far the throw is on the triggers, because like with
The Elite Controller 2.
yeah, Elite Controller 2, I was gonna say with FPSs, it helps to have like a short throw. You can like
Yes.
sharp shoot fast. I mean,
Sharp shoot fast.
sharp shoot fast. No scope. I mean, yeah, you can like
360 no scope, bro.
because the throw is shorter. You shoot faster. And there are different uses or other uses as well. But I can't think of anything that's more useful than like shooters.
I think
that.
that's easily the most obvious
Yeah.
example. But still, just being able to adjust it is nice.
Yeah.
I can tell you, sometimes I'll accidentally press triggers when I don't mean to. Or like I'll set my controller down and it'll just be in just the right way that it's just pressing like L2 or R2 or whatever. I'm just like, stop it.
Sure, I've never had that issue, but
I set my controller down a lot on my couch versus like on like a flat surface.
yeah.
And so sometimes if it'll like slide in to the couch cushion, it'll just like, all of a sudden I'll like walk away and all of a sudden I'll just like hear just gunfire. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? I'm like, am I dying? And then I look over, nope, I've just shot all my bullets.
That's interesting.
That's life. I got ray tracing.
Yes, and that's I was actually gonna mention that right now. An interesting point about that is the fact that ray tracing has been a big thing recently in the gaming world, in PC gaming, because with with Nvidia's line of like the 2000 series, like the 2060, 2070, 2080, those have, and it's kind of notorious at this point too, have ray tracing in which they call RTX, and having RTX on or off, and that became a meme of like games with RTX on looking like so crisp and clean with ray tracing. And they're really funny memes that I've seen for a while. But that's the thing, is that it was mostly exclusive to Nvidia that has been developing ray tracing in their graphics cards. But the interesting thing here is that the new generation, both Xbox and PlayStation, will be employing AMD graphics cards, and AMD has not really had much of a foray in ray tracing. So, I mean, we'll see.
They got a year to get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot can happen in a year.
A lot does happen in a year, but also nothing happens in a year.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
For the people who don't know what ray tracing is, though, it's basically lighting, like physics behind illumination, like how lighting is rendered from a light source, and it looks more realistic. Literally rays of light
Yeah.
and things like that, which can be the difference between like immersion levels in games.
Or it'll be like me and I'll barely notice. That's not the stuff I pay attention to. I will definitely notice from time to time in games. I'm like, whoa, this looks really good. But like I said, 90% of the time, I'm just like, I am playing a video game.
Because I mean, your lighting also generates like how shadows and reflections are simulated. So in a game, when the shadows are really bad, you notice it, or at least I do.
I wouldn't. I don't think I think I rarely notice when shadow. Well, I mean, if shadows are like terrible, I'll notice. But like if shadows are like I will probably never notice that because I'm not that guy. But I tend to. I mean, obviously, I think like most people, I only tend to notice these sorts of things when they're like absolutely atrocious or really really good.
Well, I mean, I notice shadows a lot more than I notice reflections. Like reflections, I'm just like, I don't expect to see a good reflection mostly in the game.
That's fine.
In any game. But shadows, I'm like,
I think one of my favorite reflections I've ever seen in a video game, not because it's bad, quote unquote, but just because I'm like, what the fuck have you done? There's a game called
what?
There's a game called Deadly Premonition.
Okay. Yes. You know what it is, Shan.
I do.
There is, you can walk up to mirrors in that game. And it's a noticeably lower quality
than
the actual game.
Which is not that great quality to begin with.
Exactly. It's like pixely almost. I'm just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck have you done?
Considering when it's not that old, right?
It's
How
not
it
new.
looks, for how it looks.
It's
though.
like 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, there were games at the time that did look way better.
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
They just re-released Deadly Premonition on the Switch. And they announced the sequel.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
I heard about the sequel.
I'm so excited for more Deadly Premonition.
Oh my god.
God, that game was a mess. And I loved it.
Wow, okay.
No, I'm serious. I did. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the podcast before, but
No.
like I played through the original Deadly Premonition. I'm like, God, this game is a freaking disaster. Kept playing it though, because I found it so entertaining and I love Twin Peaks so much. And I'm like, I was getting a super Twin Peaks vibe from this. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm going through and these ridiculous fucking characters, and this ridiculous story that just like doesn't make any sense really. It does, but it doesn't. I was like, this is fucking nonsense. And then like the ending comes. And all of a sudden I realized that this stupid fucking video game with its stupid fucking story and its stupid fucking characters somehow tricked me into giving a shit. Because like that ending emotionally affected me a little. I was like, oh. How the fuck did this happen? So yeah, Deadly Premonition. It did something right, I guess.
So it's a bad game made sort of good.
I think it's actually one of the only games I can think of that I would describe as like a good bad game.
Oh, okay. So
'Cause
that's
that's-
of what I said.
Yeah, no, I know, but like specifically because there are a bunch of good bad movies,
Yeah.
like just terrible movies that are really enjoyable.
Mhm.
For video games, it doesn't tend to work very often because usually like if gameplay is bad, you're just not having fun, and so why would you keep playing a game?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, that game like just walks that line to where it's like, I can deal with this because what the fuck is going on? And so like, I will see reviews for that game that give it like a 10 out of 10, and I can like, I'll be like, I almost can understand that.
Most polarizing game.
Yep. Yep, most polarizing game of all time. And then I'll see the like 1s and 2s. I'm like, yep, I feel that too.
Yep. But I mean, on the line of processing power of graphics cards,
which sadly Premonition had none of.
No. The PS5 can presumably output 4K or 8K. Sorry.
I mean, 4K I can believe. 8K? No.
8K.
No way in hell.
8K
What
with
is this
resolutions
8K?
of 7860 by 4320. So a lot.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all. I just don't.
I mean, at this point, there's nothing that even like that's made in 8K.
Yeah, and like 8K TVs are like super expensive and like almost no one makes them.
But I mean, like no
Yeah.
video is like made in 8K.
I know. So like, what do you?
Some movies are still shot in 2K. Like they're not even filmed in 4K.
A lot of movies aren't filmed in 4K.
Yeah, exactly. So then how the fuck are you gonna output 8K?
I guess they're trying to
Or
future-proof,
what?
but
I mean,
like,
yeah, but
I just,
I don't think they need to future-proof that much into the future.
I mean, it depends on how long they plan on having these consoles out. To be fair,
That's true.
but at the same time, look, the PS4 Pro, which again is not as strong as the Xbox One X, but like that is not even real 4K. It's a bunch of fucking tricks just to make it look like it. I can't fathom that this is actually going to be able to output HK in like HK 8K in like an honest to goodness way that is not going to just like tank the performance of every game it plays in.
Yeah.
Like I will believe that they can output an HK. I did it again. Why do I keep saying HK? 8K.
Look me straight in the eyes and say HK.
Did somebody think I was joking again?
I don't know.
Damn it. No. I believe that they can do it in. I guess because I'm combining HD.
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay.
KKK.
No.
No.
That's what you said. They could probably do it, but it would probably like every game would run at like 8 frames a second.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like interesting because, I mean, they. This was a really big thing too. I know with like, I feel like it was last gen when like PC gamers have always prided themselves on like high resolutions and high frame rates.
Mm-hmm.
And how like it's not difficult necessarily to play a game on PC at 60 FPS at 1080p because that's like that's normal at this point, or especially at this point, but even like a few years ago. And there was a point when like a lot of console gamers would be like, you can't even see 60 frames, like like 30 frames is the max you can even see, so why would I even bother going 60 frames? And then like the next generation of consoles came out and they could output 60 frames per second, and they're like, oh my god, it's 60 frames at like 4K in some cases, like with the Xbox One X. And I mean, instead of maybe changing the variable of FPS, looks like we're bumping up the resolution, which is not going to be able to fucking display at 60 frames either.
It's 100% the wrong way to go with that.
Yeah, I'd rather stay at like 4K if you can work on getting maybe 120 frames or like.
There's no way.
Yeah, but still.
There's no way these consoles that have to be like generally affordable to a general audience are going to be able to freaking run at 4K at 120 frames.
Well, the
a
fact that
second,
this can
Chase.
run at 4K is 60 FPS.
Also, to be fair, most TVs that people would own would not be able to run at 120 frames a second anyway.
Oh my.
So that would be a total waste.
Well, most TVs don't fucking output 8K.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying I think that the priority would be frame rate.
You'd think,
over
and they've
resolution.
claimed it is. They've claimed it is.
Yeah.
But I also feel like this isn't the first time I've heard that claim, and then everybody's just like, make the game as pretty as possible. I don't care if it runs.
And speaking of high frame rate, I don't know if you knew this, but Gemini Man that just came out at our theater.
Oh wait, do you guys?
We
you
are
guys one of the
showing
ones?
high frame rate
You've narrowed yourself down. There's only 21 that are doing it in the
Yeah, I
entire
don't know,
country.
whatever. So, okay. So originally, when they said high frame rate, because movies are generally in like 24 frames per second, with like The Hobbit really being an outlier at like
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that was 60, right?
I think it was at like around 60 or something.
Yeah,
Like
I assumed it was 60, and for movies that's high frame rate. So I assumed I hear we're coming at high frame rate. I'm like, oh, it's 60 FPS. That's gonna be awesome. Nope, it's 120 fucking frames per second. And I watched that. I stood in to test the content.
How much did that look like you were watching a soap opera?
It looked like I was watching a video from filmed on my phone.
That's so weird.
It was like it didn't feel like a movie.
Yeah.
Low key. And I am a proponent of high frame rates in movies, just because I think it's visually I'm just gonna say inferior. Visually superior.
I'm a big fan. I think it makes things worse.
It's a superior quality.
It takes getting used to, though, is the problem.
It does. And the fact that like 99% of movies are output in 24 frames per second, it just looks different.
It looks wrong.
And because the only real like video I see at like that high frame rate, even like YouTube videos, generally people just do like 30 frames, 24 to 30 frames. Some now are more 60, but my phone films like 4K at 60. And that's really the best quality I have seen, and the only video I've really seen at like a high frame rate is my phone. So when I was watching that, I was like, this looks like it was filmed on a phone. Low key. I mean, it's really cool and stuff, I guess. But it's really, I wouldn't say jarring, because I would say jarring would be like if it was lower frame rate, but it's like, it feels weird.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be pretty jarring.
Well, I think it's jarring.
If you're distracted for a huge chunk of a movie because it just looks so different than every other movie you've seen in terms of just the way it works.
But not
no.
only
No.
Yeah.
No. I watched The Hobbit with the HFR. That distracted me the whole movie.
Really?
Yes. I never got used to it.
Well, with this specific, I've only seen a few scenes. And with the high frame rate, those scenes, they like, because I was watching it from the frame rate perspective, I saw like in terms of the acting, in terms of the direction, I was like, and in terms of like the cinematography, I was like, is this really a movie? Because it felt like it was filmed on a phone.
I feel like the more you say that you felt like this movie was filmed on a phone, no matter though we understand what you mean, it just makes the movie sound worse and worse and worse.
It sounds like a really low quality movie now.
But the thing is, I don't know, because
phone.
I think the only saving quality about that movie is the frame rate.
I've heard the movie's not good.
Yeah, because like
I have to.
I would only want to see it for the frame rate, just like so I can have that experience. But from what I saw of the scenes, I'm like, this doesn't look like a good movie. I'm confused. It's basically just testing the technology.
Yeah, except the technology, like, I mean, it's whatever. The fact is, that movie, has gotten a lot of hullabaloo about the whole, like, young Will Smith.
Yeah.
There are scenes in that movie where it is really bad.
Really?
Yes. I have walked in, and again, I'd heard people talk about this, and I think I walked into this scene. There's a scene where you see young Will Smith in the middle of, like, the day. And it is bad. Like PS3 video game graphics bad. I'm like, this is not a real person, and it's impossible to believe that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think the only saving grace about that is the high frame rate and the fact that it's 3D high frame rate. So it's like, it's really like especially with the opening not credits, but like the
oh man, those credits were so good.
The production, like like the little splash screens for the production houses beforehand. Those look really good.
Cool.
And I
thought that was the best part of the movie.
And the movie is like, it looks good, but I'm like, is it good? I don't know.
We're sorry, Will Smith. You tend to pick bad projects. Okay. He just really wanted to work with Ang Lee, man. He just really
I just thought it was Ang Lee. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Screenplay by David Benioff.
Oh no, screenplays by 3 different people who are all very different writers,
Yeah.
and you can tell.
I like how you said you'd want to watch that movie for the frame rate.
Were there doves
and-
in this movie?
What?
Get it, Ang Lee doves.
Okay, no, I didn't hear what you said.
Other doves.
Yeah, I
What
didn't
were we saying about the frame
Oh,
rate?
I said, I find it funny how you're like, I'd only want to watch this for the frame rate for that experience. Most people go in because, hey, Will Smith.
I guess. I don't really care, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either, but my friend doesn't care about those kind of movies. She was like, I'm watching it because Will Smith.
Good to know
Oh,
that still is a thing to some
Oh,
people.
I
Yeah,
would
she
not
walked
care.
out. She was like, that was a bad movie, but hey, Will Smith.
Double the Will Smith, double the fun.
No, it wasn't.
Didn't think so.
She said it's weird.
All right, moving on. Cores. Let's talk about cores and threads and.
I guess all you have to know is that there's 8 cores in this processor, which, I mean, my PC has had for 5 years. But
It's fine.
Jeez, okay.
All this is going to be is Chase is like,
I've had the technology.
and my PC's better.
But the
Yeah.
fact is,
My Xbox is better.
my PC is not even
My-
that good. Like
I know.
for the time, even it's like
Again,
middle.
Chase, you need to
This
understand.
is a middle grade PC that is now
When
like a
did you-
high end console.
When did you get your PC?
2014.
Mm-hmm. That makes how much did it cost?
I want to say less than 700.
Okay. How much did a PS4 cost when it came out? $400.
Oh, that was 5. No, Xbox.
No.
Xbox was 500.
So it costs $400. The whole thing is that consoles are always going to be more, like they're always going to be weaker because they always need to be affordable. You need like when they put out the fucking PS3 for what, like $600? No
Oh,
one bought
yeah.
it because it was too expensive for a fucking console.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're playing to a different market. PC players, the people who are chasing that fidelity, that processing power, they will go to PC because a console will never be able to keep up with that. Because a console's goal is to be, it pushes its own strengths, but it needs to be cheap enough that the average person will buy it. That's going to be your problem. Like you're always going to be able to be like, well, mine's better. Well, mine's better.
Yeah.
I have better technology than this.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, fucking course you do. That's not the point.
Yeah.
If
Chase-
anybody ever released a console that was like the highest end quality, you're just buying a shitty PC that can't do other PC things. Like, that kind of defeats the entire purpose.
Yeah, Chase has this thing about quality, and he always wants the best, but then doesn't look at like, hey, price point.
No, I don't. I never get the best. I want the best. That's
Yeah,
not what I
you-
settle
you-
for.
Yeah,
I do settle for less.
sometimes.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely better than everything I have.
Yeah, that's just kind of where I think you need to orient your expectations here.
Yeah.
This thing is a huge upgrade over the PlayStation 4. I'd say undoubtedly. Like, it is in almost every single way looking to improve what came before. Whereas, like,
Yes.
I'd say from the PS3 to the PS4, the 360 to the Xbox One, like, they were a big jump, but like there was nothing about these upgrades that felt next gen in a way. It just felt like okay, I know I'm just getting a better computer. Like I'm just getting a version of this that might be able to run a little smoother or output in like higher definition. But like generally speaking, they were kind of a boring upgrade from the previous generation of consoles, in my opinion. So they're at least trying to do some cool things, and that's all I care about. The end. I feel like Chase has a lot to say and wants to say nothing.
Yeah.
No,
Your face literally
like-
is like, I agree. I disagree with every word
He's
Kyle
like,
said,
right.
but we don't have time to have an argument.
He's like, I'm ready to fight. Hold on.
No, I agree with that perspective.
Your face didn't say that.
It did not.
The
There's an
listeners
untold
can't,
story.
Yeah, the listeners can't see, but his face was like, nope, 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 nope.
Like your head was shaking a little bit. You're just like,
lips pursed, head shaking, staring off to the distance, like, no.
I just want to play my old games.
And hopefully we'll have full backwards compatibility, but I doubt it.
I don't know.
All I care about is that all of my fucking digital PS4 games I'll be able to play on my PS5. And we know that's confirmed.
Ooh, okay.
And so I'm good with that. Because again, I have literally like 200 games that I've purchased digitally on my PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think more. I think it's like closer to 300 now.
Jeez.
Oh,
I remember when, like, towards the end of my having my PS3, I had purchased like the entire Jack trilogy. I don't count the fourth one. And it also wasn't included. But and then like
So neither did they.
yeah. And then the Sly Cooper trilogy. Also don't count the fourth one because it wasn't included either. And
That one's not that bad.
yeah, those are like some of my favorite games, especially for that generation. Or actually, it was PS2 generation, but it was bought on my PS3 digitally, and you could play them because it was the remastered versions. But then like I got my PS4 slightly after, and I didn't have access to any of that. I was pissed, and then they went. I'm pretty sure they remastered it for PS4. I think they have it on that generation now. I got so mad. I'm like, oh, I gotta buy it again. So, but then I went and bought another PS3, and now I have access to those again. So I mean, but I would prefer to play them on my PS4 instead of having to use a whole different console to fucking play them.
Trust me, I get you.
Yeah.
I have a similar kind of situation, but it's also different.
Wow, similar but different.
Welcome to the Kyle Grubb way. It's an RPG series I really like. It's called Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. The first two games were released on the Vita and PS3. The third one is now coming out on the PS4. I haven't finished the second game yet. It's just sitting in my PS3.
Oh.
Just turning that thing on and playing it on the PS3, it's just, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with it.
You also hate those controllers.
I do hate the PS3 controller so much. But now, Chase, they remastered them on the PS4, the first two games in that series.
Oh.
It's like $40.
Oh.
But I can't import my save.
You
So
can't?
I can.
Oh, you can.
And so I'm sitting here like,
Oh.
Ooh.
do I just shell out the $40 to finish this game before the third game
That's
comes
hard.
out in 3 weeks?
Oh, man.
Those games are really good, though. That's what makes me mad that I haven't beaten this game yet.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of like backwards compatible things, also, wait, I know when I bought my PS3, the new one, to revisit PS2 games because it's backwards compatible, I had in mind, because I had a bunch of PS2 physical games, definitely wanted to revisit Kingdom Hearts. This is like a few years before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. And when I got it, my PS3, I don't think I had the games, but then they were remastered on PS4. So then I think I've told the story before. I definitely have, but I bought fucking the 1.5 plus 2.5 remix. So it has the first and second games, a bunch of other content in there, and then a few months later, 2.8 came out as a prologue to 3. Bought that. I still haven't played it because I still haven't gone through 1 and 2 to finish them again.
You're never going to.
I'm never going to. So I bought 2.8, and then a few months later, right before 3 came out, they fucking released, and I bought 2.8 for $40. And then they went and then they released 1.5 plus 2.5 remix plus the 2.8. I'm pretty sure for like $40, same price. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
If it makes you feel any better, that's not true. They did not release all 3 of those for $40 like initially. Not at all. I think you can get it for that now. Maybe. You also don't know what you're actually looking for.
No, I don't remember what it's called. I'm an idiot.
I don't know what you thought that would do.
Idiot. Oh, but this came up. I typed in Google 1.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.8, and I got
It's
6.8. But then the first thing below the calculator is play order.
Yeah, help with play order. But like, no, it was like, what was it, like The Road So Far? Was I believe what the
I don't
what the
even
set
know
was
what
called?
it's
I look it up. Kingdom Hearts: The Road So Far, I believe, is what it was called. I'm trying to help him, but he's not letting me.
The
Story so far. Fact is, how much does it cost now? I think it's like $60, or it was when it initially came out.
It's 30.
Okay, but when it first came out, it was $60.
Okay, it's still only $20 more than I fucking paid for.
Yes,
one
I get
game.
that. I get that. But I mean, that was just a bad decision on your part. Obviously, wait. If you didn't think they were gonna bundle that shit, and 2.8 was announced for a while before you bought 1.5 plus 2.5, like, you fool. See, I didn't buy any of them until there was the complete bundle that also included Kingdom Hearts 3 for $100.
Oh. Nope, it cost $40 at launch.
It did?
Yep, it did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. And a fucking 2.8 alone was $40.
Yes, that is definitely true.
Yeah.
That's why I never bought 2.8.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not paying that much for that.
I was mad, dude.
I bet. But yeah, so I bought the whole thing for $100. It got me all the games.
Well, actually, that would be regular if you bought them separately too.
Look, I get that now.
Yeah, it'll only be $40 for.
Actually, I think it was
story
$80.
so far,
I
and
know
$60
I
for-
saved money.
It's $100 right now. I think.
What?
Yeah, I just saw a price on it.
This feels like something's wrong here.
I was gonna have it 1.5 plus 2.5.
God damn it, Chase!
Let me see. Oh, now it's saved.
The all-in-one.
$60. Damn.
That's a good deal.
What the fuck?
That's like a really good deal.
All in one package.
It's
$60.
literally all the Kingdom Hearts games for $60. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's like,
That's a good deal.
more mana. Curtis waited.
is that even English?
No, he turned
It says
into
it like it's
Arnold Schwarzenegger
like
for
cut.
a second.
to 60, but
Yeah,
90,
I get it.
or
Normally it's $100.
Yeah.
But the fact remains, it's still more convenient than buying all those games separately.
Oh.
It's the time to buy if you don't have Kingdom Hearts.
And if the
Fuck.
sale is still going on by the time this podcast
That's-
goes out,
That is true.
sales tend to end on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a great
Wow.
deal on Kingdom Hearts. That's what, 7 full games and 3 movies for for fucking
The price of-
$60 for
yeah.
like
Price
price.
of one game.
One game.
And no, but to be fair, also one of those games came out this year.
True.
I know.
Jeez.
And it's still one of the highest selling, right?
Yes.
For this last month, it was like number
Yes.
6 or something.
It's a great fucking deal.
Yeah.
Even though, like,
Wow.
you're basically just buying Kingdom Hearts 3 and getting like 6 games and 3 movies for.
God damn it, Square.
How dare you give us great deals after
After
I
I-
bought shit? There's nothing worse on earth. Nothing worse on earth in human history.
Jeez.
I'm not being hyperbolic.
Okay.
Than buying a video game. And then it's the fucking
Are you
PlayStation
fucking
Plus
Randy
game.
Savage?
And then it's the PlayStation Plus game for the next month.
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
Worst feeling in all of human history.
I understand, Macho Man. It's the worst,
Hey, brother.
That's Hulk Hogan, but okay.
I know. I can't actually do a Macho Man Randy Savage impression. Wrestling Kyle. I'm gonna tell you.
Hey, all you listen out there, give me my fucking money back.
I just bought this
Microsoft,
game.
actually, no, Sony,
I just bought this game 3 days ago.
and now,
It's free. There's no better place to end this stupid episode.
Okay, we're done. Cut the feed. No.
We're bailing. Go, go, go.
All right, thank you for listening.
This hour-and-a-half long podcast.
I don't care.
You don't edit it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Not this time. We'll see you next time. No, you won't. I mean, no.
You'll hear us.
What? We'll see your views.
Please don't see us next time.
We'll see your views.
Yeah. So that
All 10 of you. 3 of which might be me.
Thanks for sticking around.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.